Okay. I'm gonna do it. Okay, it's running.
How many speedrunners does it take to start a timer? All right, and we're off.
Okay, so explaining again, we're taking Vitality 2 times so that we can get the Sprinter perk. We also take the perk for main level, which is Scout. That'll allow us to avoid encounters during fast travel more often than without it. So this is Scarlet, we're Henry, the son of this blacksmith. He's making a sword, we're gonna help him. So first thing, we're picking up the crossguard over here. Yeah, this is like a tutorial section of the game. You can see the dialogue is going like super fast. That's because we're allowing this setting where dialogue gets automatically skipped. That makes it more equal for like all the computers, whether it's like fast or slow, and it's also a nice like quality of life. So here's Kunesh. We need like he owes us money, and we need to get it. But then he's like, "Screw you!" And then we're like, "Okay, we got a backup plan. We're gonna we need this charcoal. That's why we need money. But we're just gonna sell our clothing to get the money." So now we're gonna be in our underwear pretty much the rest of the run. That's Vanek. We're gonna do some combat training with him soon. And over here we need to pick up some beer for Dad.
Yeah, as one might expect, Dad sends you on errands, and you gotta pick up a pitcher of beer. Yeah, there were also some of our friends there that wanted to invite us to throw literal poop at a person's house, but that's slow, so we're kind of not interested in any of that.
Okay, so you see me jumping to like corners and stuff. That's because I'm farming vitality experience. When you jump, you get half a point of experience in vitality. And yeah, whenever there's any like downtime, we need to wait for this Vaniac guy to get next to this arena so that we can start training. So that's why I'm just trying to get vitality experience in the meantime. So you see the yellow bar at the bottom of the screen? That's my stamina. So that limits how much I can run and jump around. So I'm gonna have to balance around that.
Very well. Let's start with the basics. Keep moving. Your life depends on it.
Alright, so we just basically follow the little tutorial section. Just keep moving, as he says. And then we jump around when there's downtime for experience.
Just fiddle around, you'll get nowhere.
One thing to explain about the speedrun of this game is that as it is made somewhat realistic, almost everything has a bit of an RNG element to it in the speedrun, including combat training, because sometimes these guys are just in the middle of an animation and they don't want to continue the auto-scroller that is their dialogue. So we have to wait for them. Or alternatively, as we earlier talked to Kunesh, sometimes he's chopping wood, sometimes he's just coming out of his house, sometimes he's not even out of the house yet, so we just, lose a few seconds here and there. Every now and then, just because of a random bohemian person just wanted to be a bit slow then.
Yeah, I mean, the NPCs have, like, their own, like, cycles, their own, like, whatever they're doing during the day. Like tasks, routines. So they might be in different places at different times. At some sections we need to like know where they're going to be. They can be predictable sometimes a bit less so. Okay, so we're pretty much done here. We're coming back to Dad, and we're gonna start forging the sword. Not gonna see much of it, we skip it. But here's Teresa, and Scarlet is getting burned. We need to escape. Oh no! So a lot of it is happening at once during cutscenes, and we can't possibly explain everything. Also, our parents are dead.
Yeah, sort of parents died. Kind of unfortunate, but it's a part of the game.
Yeah. So we're supposed to run like where those guys are going, in that direction, but we're going over here because there's a fast horse in this direction. It's not this one, but we use this to get to the fast horse. This one's right over here. So this horse is like much faster than the others around here, and it's going to be really important. There you go. Then we go.
All right, there we are. Yeah, you're going to see quite a bit of horse riding throughout this run. Sometimes we're going to be in dark forest. Sometimes we're going to be on somewhat better lit roads, and sometimes we're going to be running away from encounters such as peasants or human soldiers. And that kind of brings me to a little bit of a point in the story, as you know, we skipped all the story and we will continue to do so throughout this entire run. So we were just attacked by a bit of a foreign nation, and they brought human soldiers. They're effectively the biggest bad guy force that you will find around Bohemia as you're trying to survive in this world. So effectively, at this point, we were sent to warn nearby towns, specifically the nearby town of Talmberg, about this foreign nation.
Yeah, Talmberg is that way. The road to Talmberg is that way. We're going this way. And Henry here is going to make some remarks that this is the wrong way. What am I doing? What is the player controlling me thinking of? Or something along those lines. So we're going to do some uphill horse riding. Totally okay. So why are we going this way? It's actually a fast route to Talmberg, but the main point of this is that we're passing by Merhead by going this way. Merhead is here. So there, we discovered Merhead. That gives us the fast travel point, so we can return here much quicker this way. And Merhead has a horse merchant, and we want to get a horse for the speedrun as early as possible. So this is super important to do.
Just the general gist of the thing is that, you know, horses run faster than people, and we want to go fast. So I think pretty much sums it up, doesn't it?
Okay, so we have to be a little bit careful here. If we just gallop down this hill, we might end up like falling too much, taking fall damage, and we have very little HP because we're bleeding, because the human shot us during a cutscene, and we would die if we take like fall damage. Okay, we got to Talmberg because some cutscenes that we skipped, and we're really hungry and tired, and yeah, we're gonna pick up some roast duck here, and that's gonna patch us up. Eating that real quick, and then we go to bed. Okay, so we're gonna sleep. We need to sleep at least 2 hours. That way we trigger like the next event. So Stephanie is going to come talk to us here. We don't really want to talk with her. Which is Mashi. There, you missed it. And then something's going on. They've spotted some people. We need to go to the battlements and see what's up. So we're gonna take an interesting route here through these rooms because the doors just happen to be open. Never mind that sleeping person there. And we're here, and we're gonna see what's up. It's gonna be Bratic there. Anyway, we need to do some guard duties. And yeah, this is how we do guard duties.
Are you insane?
So instead of doing guard duties, we get imprisoned, and that kind of gets us off the hook. And suddenly it's morning. Very good. And something's up again. And we're gonna see what's up. Everyone's running this way, we're going that way too. I don't really even know what happens there. But we skipped it, we're going. We want to bury our parents now. So we need to get out of here. But they don't want to let us out because going back to Scarlet's, which burned, is really dangerous because of bandits and everything. But we gotta go, so we gotta go. So I just dropped down the drawbridge with a horse. That's totally fine. I need to get around these guards a little bit. If you get too close, then they're gonna, yeah, like they're chasing me a little bit. They get you into dialogue, like, hey, what are you doing? Get back to Tolnberg, and we don't want that. So anyway, we just need to ride like away from Tolnberg, and that's gonna. Oh, why was that so laggy? I don't know. That's gonna bring us to Ravna, which is next to Scarlet's. So we just rode through here just a moment ago.
Yeah, and a quick thing about the bandits here typically have mainly British accents, but for some reason this specific person sounds a little bit American. But, you know, I guess Bohemia had all kinds of English speakers around the 1400s, but, you know, I didn't live there, so I don't know.
We didn't get to hear too much of him. Anyway, we need to pay attention to stamina management. We need to outrun this guy. If he catches up and swings with his sword, that could be really bad. But it's not really a problem because we have this sprinter perk, so we're much faster. But yeah, here's where stamina management comes into play. When we're sprinting long distances, we're gonna have it recover until like 3/4, and then we're gonna start running again and drain the stamina to 0. So again, you see the stamina bar at the bottom of the screen, the yellow bar, which is currently filling up, and now I'm using it again to sprint. So anyway, Scarlet is over there, we need to go there, but there's some hidden treasure here that we're gonna grab. There are like treasure maps in this game that you can use to find treasure. But we happen to know that it's there, and it doesn't require any lockpicking to get, unlike most treasures. So yeah, that's our way to get money early, which will be used to buy a horse. As I said, we want a horse as early as possible.
And then would you say that it's going to be a bit of a recurring theme that we just happen to know certain things about where things are that are not explained in the game yet? And it does give us a bit of an advantage going fast, which is also important.
Yeah, a lot of the quests in this game, if you know where the final objective is, you can just go straight there. You don't need to like let's say you're supposed to like follow a clue and it's gonna give you another clue and stuff like that. You don't need to do any of that if you know where it will bring you in the end, most of the time. So I want to make sure I have pretty much full stamina when I start running away from this bandit, because he's going to chase me, and we're going to get into a cutscene trigger here when we find our parents dead. That's going to stop him from chasing us, but he's going to be right there. So preferably we don't aggro him, because then we would have to kill him to be able to really progress. We want to loot our ex-girlfriend, let's put it that way. She has a ring and a savior's knob. So that's worth money. That's why we loot those. We don't care about any keepsakes or stuff like that. We just want the money.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think Henry is mainly not that much of a sentimental person, at least in the speedrun. If you play this casually, it's entirely okay to be, you know, a kind person, to do nice things to other people, but I think in the speedrun, Henry doesn't quite have time for kindness, so, you know, we're just gonna take the dead girlfriend stuff, and the same theme is going to keep going as we make progress.
So we want to bury our parents here. This is a good place, but these bandits are going to catch us, and they want to beat me up. And we want them to beat me up as well, because that's the only option, really, at this point in the game. Okay, finally, he wasted a little bit of time, but that's okay.
Yeah, just
Could've been
another
worse.
example of how you can lose 10 seconds. Just automatically losing 10 seconds to just Runt not wanting to swing his little bat at our head.
Yeah. So this is a nightmare. We can still get experience if we do a little quick punch on the shoulder on that human there, that nightmare human. So we just needed to run there and the nightmare ends. So yeah, we got rescued by Theresa. There's Theresa. And it's going to be 2 weeks. Henry is going to recover. We're just going to say we're tired. We don't really want to talk. And now we're just about ready to get going. Good recovery. We need to grab all our stuff from that chest. Grab some food. Nice doors. Very quick doors.
Nice.
Okay, so this is where we go to Merhead, the place we traveled past with our horse while escaping to get the fast travel point. So we're gonna go and get our own horse right now. So yeah, this is our first occurrence of fast traveling, and luckily no encounters. So yeah, encounters can waste a lot of time. They're random. They're gonna come up later, sooner or later. So here's Johan. We're gonna need money. He has only like 400 groschen to give us. So we're gonna get as much as possible out of him. And then we're gonna need him to get more money, which we're gonna do like this. This is gonna give him more money. So while he's knocked unconscious, he's gonna do some trading with the stuff that we sold him somehow. And after that, he's gonna have more money.
Yet again, we can't confirm or deny the realism of this specific instance of how Bohemia worked in the medieval times because, well, you know, we weren't there.
Okay, and we're also gonna haggle like the maximum amount that we can get out of the stuff that we're selling. It's really like tight on gold to be able to even get this horse.
Yeah, Henry is the master of haggling.
Okay, that was very good. And the horse is here. We got it. We're done. And we're back to Frate.
Yeah, just as a PSA, also, do not try the trick of choking somebody unconscious to give them more money in real life. It will absolutely not work in real life. It's only in the game. Just as a PSA, you know?
Okay, so great start of a run, no encounters, and the trading was fast.
Oh yeah, also, if you play this casually, when you wake up from Theresa's place, you know, at the mill, there's a quest that tells you that now you kind of owe money to the miller because, well, they took care of your unconscious self for about 2 weeks, but again, Henry doesn't have time for debts, so Henry's just gonna spend all his hard-earned, or at least found and haggled money on going fast.
They're gonna send some like debt collectors at some point in the game, but we're too fast to encounter them.
Oh, for real?
So yeah. So we don't need to care about those guys. So yeah, we're going here to meet Radzik, like the lord around here. And we're off to like a next quest. He wants to like get us into his service. So we're gonna go train with Captain Bernard. We need to wait until morning at this point. So we go outside the city, because inside the city, you need to have a torch out at night, and we don't have a torch.
Yeah, it's one of the worst crimes they can possibly commit in medieval Bohemia is to be within city limits without a torch out. I mean, you can ride over people on a horse. They just say, hey, watch it. But if you're out without a torch, they will be like, hey, what kind of suspicious activity is this? And they will absolutely charge you at least 80 groschen for it.
Anyway, this is not the place where we go for training, but this is a place where we can steal a polearm, and we're absolutely going to do so. Polearms are kind of special weapons. You can't have them in your inventory, but you can just carry them around. So why do we need it right now? Well, that's because when we carry a polearm and get into combat training, that kind of forces the polearm to go into our inventory, a glitch, which is very useful. So we can use the polearm later on in the run. Okay, here's Bernard. We'll be starting the training.
I feel quite hungry.
And yeah, you see the polearm is gone. It's in my inventory right now.
Come at me and don't hold back.
Okay, so here's like a free fight training. We want to get as many hits in as possible to get experience in strength and agility. That'll make us stronger. It's a lot of RNG. Like, sometimes Bernard just counters all your attacks. Sometimes he lets you get many hits on them. So, we'll just hope for the best.
Yeah, but the consolation prize on not getting a lot of XP during this thing is that Bernard gives you the shortest possible line at the end of the training, or the beginning part of the training, which saves you a few seconds, but loses XP.
Well, I don't know about a few seconds, maybe like 1 or 2 at most. Yeah, experience is basically more valuable than that.
Yeah,
some of the early game fights are going to be rough.
Yeah, with low level. True.
Fine enough.
Yeah, but yeah, this part of the early game is probably the most tedious, because this combat training will take a good solid 5-6 minutes maybe. In-game time, real-time, everything. And, well, for anybody casually playing, this is heaven sent. Bernard, will slowly teach you all the basics of combat that you need to know about blocking and hitting and switching between different target zones, but, well, you might be surprised to know, but Deno actually knows all of this stuff already.
Yeah. So anyway, I had to attack him at the side he's not holding his sword, so you can always just attack in the middle, it's very convenient. Okay, so he's teaching about like perfect blocks right now. He's going to demonstrate, and then we're going to have to repeat after him in a moment here. So I want to have him in the corner, and I'm going to try to... The game gives like a slow motion, I'm going to try to skip it. Like that. No slow motion there. Good. Okay, here's a slow motion. So you need to look up way a little bit. And then instantly lock on when he's about to attack. I messed it up! And then you get this long dialogue if you mess it up.
It's a good thing. You can also say that you just did that on purpose, just to demonstrate the kind of, give and take, the risk and reward side of trying to skip the slow motion. As someone who has not played the game quite as much as Deno, I am really scared of trying to do that slow motion skip, because it is really tricky to do.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to just take the slow motion than fail it, trying to skip it.
And if you're really observant, you might have seen as Bernard is holding his arms up, you can see under his armor, and you can see that there is no physical body whatsoever. It's just an empty shell of an armor and a head. So that also is a lore explanation as to why Bernard is completely immortal at any given point in the game. Kind of weird.
Okay, so we're done with that. So now, this is like free training. We don't really need to do anything. This is a timed thing. So we actually don't get any useful experience from doing those perfect blocks. So we're instead going to run and jump around. And then we're going to lure him over here, where he's going to have a conversation with Sir Hans.
Captain Bernard.
So we want him to be close to him, like this.
Alright, nice positioning. Yeah, we have tried just about everything in our power to be able to skip this combat training, but it seems to be completely impossible to skip it. Just all in all in this game, it keeps track of story flags, it keeps track of all kinds of flags, so it's very difficult to do big sequence skips. It's mainly the thing that we mentioned earlier about knowing where to go at the end of the quest that you just started, just to skip all of the little steps in between. But sadly, even though we know where a certain bandit camp that we need to invade at a later point of the game is, there's nothing there before you hit certain main story flags. So we kind of follow the story.
The main thing about it is that these like quest triggers only appear during like their respective quests, like main quest. So while I'm on this main quest, I'm not gonna be able to see like final quest stuff. So we need to do the main quests in order, but within those quests we can usually skip a lot of steps. Why do I feel like that was faster than it was normally?
I mean, it is a speedrunning event, so I mean, you know,
Good.
we accept all kinds of good luck and going fast. Oh yeah, then
How did you do that?
Are you gonna try to do a trick?
Good.
It's a nice trick.
All right. Very good.
Yeah, we need to like bait him to block on one side and then attack from another. And that part is really tricky. Like, there used to be better ways of going fast, but now it seems like pretty much everything is inconsistent. But you have to take it kind of slowly now, make sure it actually works. So next is coming up archery training, and that's going to go a little bit differently than this. And the horse is going to be very important for this. You're going to find out soon. So archery training is here, down this bridge. We're going to set up this horse over here, and we're going to make a safety save, and we'll jump down.
Well, that seems reasonable.
Okay, that should work. It's a little awkward, but I'll just use my bow.
Concentrate. A bow ain't exactly the weapon of choice of a knight, but
So we need to scare this horse.
coming at you from a distance.
Nice, nice, nice. He's gonna push us right next to Bernard. And
that's
we
good
can
position.
keep triggering this dialogue where he gives us a training bow and vambraces. And the vambraces are worth money. So instead of just shooting at a target, we can just talk to him and get infinite vambraces. Well, it's a timed section, so that's a bit of a limitation to the infinite, but we want to get about 50 vambraces. That's gonna get us about 3,000 groschen total, and we're gonna use that to give our horse some really good horseshoes to make it go faster, buy some arrows, and a few other things, like some potions.
Yeah, let's put that 3,000 groschen into perspective. I mean, let's say that you're about to buy a horse in real life. You know, how much is that going to be? Well, to be honest, I don't know. But it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And we just bought that horse that we have right now, or actually Henry has, for about 1,500 groschen. So within these few minutes of just talking and saying the same things to Bernard, we're able to farm about 2 times the price of a horse in merchandise, which we're also going to sell and rip off the entire town. But, you know, whatever. It's all for the sake of speed.
I'll be with you.
Yeah. So you might also wonder, like, what about those training bows? Like, we're also getting like a 50 training bows. Well, they're not really worth anything, like any money. But if you drop them all at once, they're gonna lag the game a little bit, but also push you away. And there's gonna be an archery contest coming up with Sir Hans over there. And during archery contest, if you move far enough from the starting position, it ends. During this particular contest, you're not able to move normally, but the mechanic still exists. So we're gonna drop all those bows, and hopefully it will push us far enough to end the contest and essentially skip a bit of a section in the game. Okay, coming up right now, let's see. 58? That's a lot of bows and bomb braces. Okay, well, but that's it. We skipped the archery contest. And now there's going to be a sword fighting contest. And we can't really skip it, but we can train all our stamina and then hope that Sir Hans kills us very quickly. Good,
Yeah,
good.
so again, yet another thing that I have not tried in real life, but apparently if you drop about 50 bows just out of your pocket in the middle of an archery competition, it kind of cancels the whole event. I'm not sure what happens in real life, but you know,
It's possible.
it's possible. I mean, if there's 50 bows just lying on the ground, they just appeared out of nowhere. You know.
Okay, so Hans really took a while there, but it could have been worse. Anyway, we're done with this. We move our bomb braces to the horse, because we can't carry 58 bomb braces on our own. But the horse, fortunately, can work for us. I'm getting a little stuck on that guard. Okay, so we're gonna have to talk to the bailiff around here and enter like guard patrol duty. So let's see where bailiff is. It might vary a little. Oh, he's about to... If he's about to sit to the chair, you have to wait until he's actually sat down.
Where?
So then I waited a moment, and now he's here. But this is okay. This is perfectly fine. Okay. So we have entered service, and our task is to start a patrol with Nightingale at the church at 11, or starting from 11. So we wait until 11, and Nightingale should be around. He's here? Okay, that's unexpected, but perfectly fine.
This is our church, St. Matthew's.
Oh, he was going the wrong way for a moment. I got scared.
It serves not only as the house of
Yeah, Nightingale does
Lords of Lighter, our
do kind of weird pathing at times. For example, if he encounters a random villager, he gets really confused for a second or two. He comes across a dog in his chosen path, and yet again he gets a bit confused. But you know, poor thing.
Oh,
you know,
the
he's
clothier is
trying
coming
to-
out of the house.
That's lucky.
pretty big, eh?
Okay. So quite often you have to go inside. You know, like you usually would go inside a shop to buy something or sell something. But he was walking out, so that makes it a little easier for us.
Not even as a
So we sell a bunch of bomb braces and buy a nice shirt.
live in town. That wouldn't be
We're gonna need a nice shirt later to
He lives by Gallows Hill.
be charismatic and convincing. But yeah, about this Nightingale section, it's basically like an auto-scroller. Like, we have to wait for him to walk us through the town. But there are a few things we can do to speed it up. And we have to make sure that we don't slow it down.
If you won't go,
Like, if you get too far away from him and he wants to talk to you, that's gonna slow things down.
you start.
And here we can skip the dialogue he was about to have with the armor by talking to the armorer. So he can't have two dialogues at the same time, you know? So the fact that we're trying to talk to him cancels Nightingale's dialogue with him and makes him go faster.
Is it a good time to talk about Movember for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, we have a $20 donation from Lands and Masters. We really appreciate that. And just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the foundation we're raising money for. All proceeds for this event will go directly to the Movember Foundation, which benefits research towards men's mental health, suicide prevention, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. Since 2003, Movember has funded more than 1,250 men's health projects around the world, challenging the status quo, shaking up men's health research, and transforming the way health services reach out and support men. We appreciate all the support and you guys being here. Back to you, Den.
Okay. So what you saw there is I took this opportunity of Nightingale having like a long distance to walk before he stops again to go to the armorer who was back at the store again and sell a bunch of one prices to get 2k crush. And so yeah, now we have solved like all our money problems for the run, and we're gonna continue the patrol with Nightingale and grind some vitality experience.
This square
Oh,
here.
there's a man standing in the gate.
Yeah, I've
Alright,
like
good.
never seen him here. I don't know what he's about.
Ringlet, he's one of the fighters, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Okay, gotta be
Well-
careful not to stay too far from Nightingale here. He might stop, and if he ever stops because you're too far, then that wastes like at least 10 seconds. It's really bad.
Shop here, and that mad merchant Wolfram Bruder.
So you don't want to be too greedy with your experience grinding, and you want to be a little careful with the
I heard he
like shopping you have to do during this section, that you don't take too long.
Yeah, I think Nightingale is just getting a bit old. He's a little, prickly about if you're holding him back, but then again, he's kind of holding the entire speedrun back by what? How long does this take? Feels like an eternity. So,
Yeah, a moment. So anyway, he doesn't like this beggar. He's gonna have a word with him, but we're also gonna have a word with the beggar, so the Nightingale can't have a word with the beggar, and we're done with the beggar. And he doesn't like the road here, so he walks on the grass instead.
yeah, it's all good grass, so I mean, why not? Kind of nice.
They're also, like, you see me sometimes running to these pods and eating. We have to take care of our nourishment and energy in this game. And these pods around places are a very good way to take care of nourishment. Especially during like an auto-scroller section like this. You can also just carry food and eat from your inventory, but it's a little bit slower to do. So here's the blacksmith. We're gonna want to buy the horseshoe I was talking about. Oh, that's the wrong. And also some piercing arrows. We're gonna need some good arrows soon. So we buy the best horseshoe and a set of piercing arrows, and we're pretty much good to travel really fast with a horse and to go shoot enemies with some good arrows. So but yeah, but it's gonna be a moment of just walking, running, and jumping around with Nightingale.
Yeah, if you've stuck around so far during the speedrun, we congratulate you. You're almost done with all of the tedious and slow feeling parts of combat training and watching over the town and learning the ropes and whatnot, because we're not really going to use the knowledge that we learned from this patrol here. Of course we're going to be doing some fighting, but you know, it's about to get a bit more interesting in terms of events.
Yeah. The game is definitely gonna pick up some pace. Like this section in particular, this is like the slow part of the run. It's like a lot of preparation and just some slow sections.
A bit complicated for a newcomer, I suppose.
Yeah, and just as an example of, you know, the speedrunner getting a bit bored, namely me, during this part, I was trying to grind some horse riding experience during this thing, and well, I got off the horse at the wrong time, and Henry decided to just clip inside a pile of firewood, and I was absolutely incapable of getting out of there, and that, well, ruined the run, made me restart the whole thing, wasted a good 40 minutes of my day that day, but, you know, it's tedious, it's a bit slow, but it gets better.
Yeah, losing your run like right after this section is pretty annoying because you know, I have to do all of this all over again. But yeah, if you're doing more like a no reset thing, then it's much more comfortable. Okay, so here's gonna be another long dialogue that Nightingale is about to have, but we bump into that guard with our horse, and that pops up like a long dialogue from him where he complains about our horse riding. And
What the fuck are you doing here when you're supposed to be on the gate?
yeah, well, that is saved like 30 seconds at least.
Not a word. Get moving.
It's also possible to skip this dialogue, but you can't do it the same way. You need to punch that guard, and then they want to arrest you, or at least fine you. So it's a little like, it doesn't save nearly as much time, and it costs you 200 groschen. And there are also some risks involved, like they might start bidding you up, and it's a little sketchy.
Here we are.
Anyway, we're pretty much done with the patrol. It's night,
Finally.
and we need to ring the bell to notify the town that shops will have to be closed for the day. So at this point, we're very happy to have a horse with some good horseshoes. We can get it here and back really fast.
And then, of course, after this, as everyone might expect, after Hans Capon just beat us at archery competition, as well as the sword fighting competition, he's going to come and, for whatever the reason, want to brawl with us.
Yeah,
But,
well,
you know,
well, we're gonna go tell him like, hey, like, it's night, like you're not supposed to be here, but like, you know, he's a royalty, so like Henry coming over to say something like that, he gets pretty upset, and he wants to brawl, but we just run away with our fast horse, and we go specifically here because we know that we need to be here for the next quest, where we actually go hunting with Sir Hans. As a kind of a penalty for this like brawl that we got into. It's sort of a bit of a mistake from both Henry and Sir Hans. So they're sending us hunting to, like, you know,
yeah, and if
get
you were
along
quick,
better. And
if you were quick, you also caught a glimpse of an alternate reality where Henry was actually fighting and brawling with Sir Hans. And we're getting punished for that alternate universe where we actually fought with him instead of the one that we're currently in, where we just, you know, ran away from a fight like any reasonable human being would do.
so the next section, we need to fast travel really far, and we don't really have the necessary fast travel points for that. So we're gonna use a bit of a trick where if we fall to 0 energy while fast traveling, that's gonna bring us out of the fast travel.
By fainting.
Yes.
And fainting is good, but only this
Let me
time.
make sure. Okay. So we fast travel here, and we want to pass out somewhere over here. We don't want to go too far. This is too far.
Oh no.
It's always too far. It seems like from our experience so far, it's really random. Like it's really random and difficult to control exactly where you're gonna pass out. So we need to go back a little bit to get this fast travel point. We're gonna need it later. We're gonna need it very soon, actually. Then I need
it's actually the RNG section, because here we have 0 energy to begin with. And what I've done is one time I waited about 45 minutes, then fast traveled. It was perfect. Then another time I was in the same spot. I waited for about an hour and 15 minutes, and I went way over, like even further than Dan did this time. So it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but maybe.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
all
one day
weird.
we'll figure it. We will figure it out.
Yeah, but anyway, this wasn't too bad. I overshot both times, but I just need to go a little bit backwards, and it's all good. So here's another fast travel point that we get, and we're also pretty much as close to the objective as we can be. And we're just gonna go over there.
Yeah, the objective is going to be Sir Hans Capon's hunting camp that we're going to be meeting him at, and we're going to come across the worst speedrunning skip name, in my opinion, but it's not all bad. But it's the bacon and wine skip that we're going to do. But, you know, if you were worried, we were never going to have the bacon and wine. It was actually going to be selfish Sir Hans Capon that was going to get the wine and bacon from us, and, you know, we don't have time for that, so skip all that.
Yeah, so we just grab some food. This chest is for us, from our hunting gear. And at this point we want to get Insomniac, which causes us to lose energy slower so that we can go on longer without needing rest. And we're just going to sleep.
How long do you think Sir Hans Capon waited for that bacon and wine while we just sat next to him?
I don't know. But anyway, you wouldn't be able to start the hunting because it's so late already. So that's really why we need to sleep. And now we need to wait a little bit for... I don't think this is enough. Let me grab the food. No, this is why I got the bread. My new discovery.
Bread? A new discovery?
Yeah, so anyway. Now it's time for hunting, but we don't feel like hunting, so we're just gonna have Hans going hunting, and we're going to idle and get a little bit of sleep here in the meantime.
Yeah. But also, I sometimes wonder about what do people think when Henry just stops in his tracks? Doesn't do a single thing, just waits and stares into the abyss for even 12 hours at a time. It's kind of weird.
Nobody knows. But anyway, Hans went hunting, he's back, and now we're going to go... this was hare hunting, by the way, so now we're going boar hunting. And yeah, I waited that minimal amount of time that basically instantly teleports him to his objective instead of having to like wait around for him to get there. And I'll just follow the objective and go after him. So not everything is going to go quite so well with this boar hunting. We're going to run into a couple of humans. This is going to be like a first big fight. Very dangerous fight, actually, in the game. And I have a bit of a new strat for this. Hopefully it goes well.
Yeah.
Okay, so the archer is about to shoot us. But we're like behind this short guy. So we're pretty safe. And also, because we're... What is this scary? Because we're behind some of the stuff, the like passing AI gets a little confused and doesn't know how to get to us. So they're just gonna stand still. Again, to be careful with the archer. There we go. Good fight. Loot some arrows from that guy. And Sir Hans is over here, wounded. He's not supposed to be standing up, but I'm sure. Okay, and now we've returned safely after this dangerous encounter. Here's a bit of an interesting thing. You're supposed to get an energy and nourishment refill at this point, but you don't always get it. It's like a glitch, it just doesn't always work.
Yeah, very often the game just doesn't want you to go fast, so it kind of gives you these tiny little punishments, such as not making you...
Yep, I didn't get it.
Nice. Well, that's gonna cause us a lot of trouble. Well, it's not gonna be terrible, but it's not nice either.
Yeah, at least my nourishment is good, but my energy is low, so I'm going to have to do like an extra sleep at some point to regain my energy.
All right, but as for lore, yet again, we were hunting with Hans Capon, hunting boars. We were attacked by humans, and later we also hear that the humans also attacked something else, or there was at least an attack on Neuhof. There were bandits.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
Neuhof.
also
It's
humans. It's kind of on fire right now.
we need to go there, but we're going over here because we happen to know that there are some bandits here that the quest would later point us towards, but they're already here, so we can go here and deal with the bandits.
Yeah, so our mission was, of course, to go, check out what's going on at Neuhof since it was attacked, but, we know something better to do and to make things go a bit faster. And we will go to Neuhof to check out what's going on, but only after we get everything that we need for it.
Turns up willingly for the slaughter.
That's bad.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay, this is sketchy now. If you miss that arrow, it gets really scary. Oh, okay, I'm preloading this. I'm splitting already. That's bad.
Yeah.
I missed that one arrow. It's very critical that you hit that. You need to kill him there, otherwise there's going to be trouble. Like, you can't deal with that guy too well.
What happened? Just what that Neuhof stable wanted.
Yeah, well, at least that's an example of what it means to go around as underwear Henry in no armor whatsoever, just going around sporting your bow and arrows. And we are very, very fragile, I think, at this point. So any mistakes that we make in combat are almost instant death most times.
Yeah, like in the previous fight as well, like, I had to be really careful. Like, one arrow hits me, that might be over. And that's pretty much the same here. If he gets to attack me, that's probably just it.
Alright. Attempt number 2.
Okay, I'm gonna make a safety save this time. Make sure we don't get stuck here or anything.
Well, now.
The low energy is kinda harmful for this as well. Okay, and this is how it's supposed to look like.
There's a bit of a side note also about bow combat, since we're going to be doing mainly bow combat throughout this entire speedrun because, well, swords are dangerous. We are only wearing underwear. We don't want to be hit by swords or anything for that matter. But still a lot of damage against faces. Against bare faces, it deals a lot of damage, as one might imagine. But bows against armor, not a lot of damage.
Okay, so you see me like constantly waiting a minimal amount of time. That basically passes the dialogue quicker, and we need to wait it to be over to talk to this guy. Sometimes, for whatever reason, you're able to talk to him before that dialogue even happens, or maybe it has already happened or something. But at least for me, that's usually not the case. But
yeah, for some reason, for me, not so many times. It's very rare that I have to do that waiting.
Yeah. Anyway, the next step is to find this ginger guy who is our lead at the moment, but we don't really have any idea where he might be, except that I've played this game before and I know exactly where he's going to be. So we don't need to go around and asking and finding out where he might be. We just go exactly where he is.
Yeah, normally you're sent to go question some charcoal burners and then go question some other charcoal burners, and then you need to kill some bandits for them in order to get them to give you some information to tell you, tell you where Ginger is. But, you know, this is just a good example of how you can save a bunch of time by just knowing everything.
There we go. We talk to him a little bit and we know everything we need. And then we go back and report what we find out.
That was also good dialogue. So, you know, you might not pay a lot of attention to the way that the dialogue is played out during the speedrun.
Okay, dodge an obstacle there.
Oh, that's nice.
Obstacles can be really bad.
Yeah, the dialogue goes really, really fast, and especially when Den knows exactly what to do at any given piece of dialogue, basically, you almost pay no attention to it at all. But, you know, if you watch one of my runs or whatever, you will see that I lose probably a good 1 or 2 minutes in dialogue just choosing the right options.
Okay, so here's another horse merchant. We're going to buy Groom's Bridle. And that's going to make that's going to increase the courage of our horse, which causes it to not throw us off the saddle as often when things get a little scary. So basically, encounters, for example, without the bridle, the horse often just throws you off the saddle, and then you're in trouble. But with the bridle, you can always often just run away with the horse, and it's much better. So anyway, we need to visit this bathhouse. There we go. Okay, good jump. This is how we go to bathhouses in Bohemia. So we need to buy a couple potions from here. The armor and the bard potion. So one increases our charisma and one increases our speech. And we're going to need them to convince some people. And next up, we need to go to Usit. That's where the main quest is leading us. We need to talk to this Lubosh guy, I believe.
Yeah, we found out from Ginger, the earlier guy in the middle of the forest, that there is a guy with a limp called Lubosh, and he is said to be somewhere in this town of Ushitz.
Yeah, we're gonna try to find him.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, you will not see it because he's in a cutscene, and cutscenes do not exist in speedruns. So, we're just going to have to tell you that it's tragic, but he's kind of dead. So we're going to have to find out something else in order to get some information.
And also, we're gonna fast travel into this cutscene trigger because it works. Okay, so quick dialogue here. And so we happen to know that the priest talked to Lubosh, so he knows stuff. So that's who we want to speak to since we can't talk to Lubosh. But you know, there's a bit of a confessional seal. He's not supposed to just tell us everything, but if we're really charismatic, he's gonna tell us.
You know, as Henry is in his nice shirt and bloody face.
Yeah.
You know, would you tell this man your secrets? I would.
Absolutely.
He also undresses back into his underwear right after the priest spills his secrets, but you know, the priest doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, but armor and clothing slows down your running speed. Oh no, it's a skirmish. Go away! I'm not in combat. Ooh, that was scary. Skirmish again!
Hey, what are you doing here?
God, I'm in combat. Go away!
Terrible.
Okay. Bridle is saving me. If I didn't have the bridle, I would be in big trouble. But now we just have to fight away from them until we get out of this combat state. Then we can fast travel again. Okay, there we go. That wasn't too bad. So we need to go find Tricky now. We don't have any idea where he is, except that I've played this game before and I know exactly where he is.
Yeah, normally you would go as far as to go like get some hair meat to an innkeeper to get some more information, and then get some more information from another guy, and then somebody tells you that, hey, Ricky might be in this one cave, but you know, no time for any of that. Also, bit of a side note, but this is a timed quest within the game. You have 3 in-game days time to complete this quest, but
we're gonna get there in like an hour of
probably
in-game time.
less than an hour.
Anyway, we just right into the cave. We hit our head a little bit, but it's okay because we hit the cutscene trigger. Okay, we got all the information we needed. We're gonna get into a bit of a combat situation here, except that we just fast travel out of it before it actually happens.
Yeah, the previous encounters that we got that were called skirmishes, you can get a lot of different kinds. That some are called snares or obstacles or skirmishes or peasants. And weirdly enough, peasants is one of the worst kinds of encounters that you can get because they very often have a dog. And I'm sorry, all dog lovers. I also love dogs very much. But dogs are one of our biggest enemies in terms of RNG in this game, because if the peasants have a dog, it is impossible to outrun the dog, and the dog will kill you. And that loses a lot of time, as one would expect.
Well, the dog won't necessarily kill you, but it will prevent you from getting away. And then the peasants with their like pole arms, they will kill you.
Yeah.
And in general, if you can't get away from an encounter, that's big trouble. So anyway,
also,
we're supposed to go after like Timmy or something who knows about this bandit camp, but you know, we know exactly where the bandit camp is, so we're just gonna go there. And at that point, Henry can say like, yeah, I know where the camp is, which we need to tell Lord Radzik, which is our current objective. Oh no, Kevin! No!
Uh-oh.
It's a dog? No! Okay, if it's a dog, my only hope is to just keep riding the horse and hope that it will, at some point, allow me to get away. Eventually. That's my only hope. Very, very scary situation right now. Might die. Might lose a lot of time. Need to get this to work.
I kind of jinxed it with the talk about the dog.
Oh! I don't know where I'm. Oh!
Very nice.
Oh! I got away. Ooh.
Oh, that's close.
Whew, I'm so happy I got away from that. That would have been. That's one of the worst places to die. Like the autosave is some time ago. Okay, so Sarah Radzik is in this camp. We need to talk to him. He's asleep somewhere in some random location. Okay, I think I see him. So after this, we need to go like actually scout the camp. We're not able to do that before because we didn't have the quest. It's a little bit silly, but we have to do it like that. And I'm gonna take this opportunity to get some rest because I didn't get the energy refill earlier when I was supposed to.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of just energy management that you have to do if the game is just feeling a bit, you know, rude, doesn't want to give you energy. So then you have to do a couple of extra sleeps. But it's not a big deal, but
it's not a huge deal, especially with the load remover, which removes all the sleeping, because that's all like hardware dependent, how fast it goes. So if we were using the load remover, that wouldn't waste much time at all. In real time, a little bit more, but it's okay. Okay, so we have the fast travel point, we can get to Pripyat a little bit quicker this time. And this is how we do scouting. We dash through with our horse, get to the middle of the camp, and yeah, we've pretty much seen everything. Oh, go back.
yeah, Henry's really good at making observations, just like absolutely keen eye, looking around, knows everything about the camp now.
Okay, but another encounter is slowing us down. Fortunately, our horse is getting us away from it.
Yeah, very often, normally you would do that bit of scouting in a casual playthrough by sneaking into the camp, possibly poisoning their food, burning their arrow storage, and, you know, carefully sneaking around. But, well, as one might expect, sneaking is slow. Riding a horse right through the bandit camp is kind of fast. So, well, needless to say, we picked the fast option.
Yeah, so anyway, we're getting back to the camp. Fortunately, without dying. Oh, Radzik is here, that's very convenient. Oh, get off the horse. I was like inside the tent, so I couldn't get off the horse. Radzik wants to sleep, but I'm not gonna let him. So we're gonna tell him that there's a lot of them and they're like well prepared and everything. I believe if you tell him like, nah, like there's like no one here and they're not well prepared, then you're actually getting less allies for the big fight. The big fight, which is coming up very, very soon now. So we're gonna attack the camp, and yeah, it's gonna be the biggest combat section in the game so far, and one of the biggest overall.
It even features a bit of a boss fight, which is kind of exciting. We get to show that bald guy from before that kind of whacked us in the face with a mace. You know, how we've come so far in our underwear.
Yeah, we're gonna attempt to get revenge on that guy who beat us up earlier. So anyway, we're gonna attack in our underwear, wearing a bow. That's the speedrun style.
One of the beauties and just the nice things about the speedrun and this game is that it actually shows Henry in the cutscenes in the clothing that you have chosen or in the armor that you have chosen, which is, well, none most of the time.
So we're also gonna just rush straight in, like before anyone else. We're quite brave. We know that the AI is not really... That guy is acting a bit weirdly, but the AI basically... Other than this guy who's like... messing with me right now, the AI shouldn't actually attack me.
Is this, I've never seen this one before, kind of a moment?
I've seen that sometime, but yeah, I believe you shouldn't attack that guy. I think that was my mistake. But it's not a big deal. So we were supposed to kind of just chill and shoot these melee guys who just idle their intro because they don't know how to attack this unexpected underwear Henry. But it's not a big deal. This is just slightly slower now. Okay, into the next section of this fight here. Now we can kind of do the same thing where we just go ahead, and they just have their formation. They don't leave their formation, even though Henry comes in a little unexpectedly. And we're gonna try to shoot them in the faces as much as possible. That's really the most effective way we can fight these guys. Our sword fighting skills really aren't much to write home about. Oh, nice.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. And as we see, if whenever Den hits the person in the neck, the shoulder, the toes, the fingers, whatever, it deals hardly any damage at the moment. But the moment that arrow touches a person's face, that person is as good as dead, effectively. And that is what we want in this, of course, because it's a fight. We want it to end. How does it end? Well, the enemy dies. It's just the nature of war.
So we move on to the next section. There's going to be some archers up there, but if we burn the hay, they will be unable to shoot, and they will instead come down and use their swords. And they are going to be pretty much our like first priority targets. They don't have much armor, but they can still deal plenty of damage. Okay, there they come. So this fight, this is really tricky because it's really random how everyone's going to like move around the battlefield here. Sometimes they're going to do something like that, where they get them away from me, where they like try to attack me, and I really don't want them to attack me because I'm not wearing any armor. What are you doing there? Okay, there's a bit of a safe spot here. It's a little difficult to shoot anyone from this position though. Okay. That was really scary, but fortunately I managed to pull through.
Yet another time, you're doing a good job of displaying all the risks involved in the, if anything goes wrong during fights, this kind of happens, and you might just die.
So I'm loading a bunch of like arrows and bandages here. We're gonna need arrows and bandages are really important to have for safety. Because if you start bleeding and you don't have bandages, you're as good as dead. Like, you just need bandages to survive if you start bleeding. So,
yeah,
gotta have them.
Bleeding simply does not stop until you're dead in medieval Bohemia. So, probably a lot of people died of paper cuts during that time, which is very unfortunate. But luckily, there isn't a whole lot of paper that we have to deal with in this game, so I think we're fine.
Wow, they're just all dropping.
That's insane.
One died of bleeding like the moment after I hit him. What? What's this? What's this?
Where are they going?
I've never seen that happen. They just initiated like some new order, like oh, guys, this is a speedrun marathon. We're gonna mess him up. That's very much what they just did.
They know. They know.
I'm gonna stay back here. You know?
Yeah, I think you've shot a lot of faces already, so I'm pretty sure that your allies are going to be just fine.
Yeah, I have enough money.
That was scary.
I want to take care of those archers as well. There you go, one of them. Okay, these guys are here. This fight is so crazy right now. Like, this is supposed to be much more controlled. Like, this is just... Everything's happening at once, and there's no time to do anything.
Then how's your money?
I've got enough. So you want to ensure that you have at least 1k money here, or if you don't, you need to loot a little bit of stuff to sell, and you're gonna see later why we need 1k. Bit of an interesting trick. Okay, so now we have the boss fight coming up, the front. So again, our sword fighting skills suck. We're gonna use our bow in this very small space. It's fine. There we go. Shoot him in the head, and that's enough to take him down.
Beautiful. There we are. Here's also the alternate, just a quick glimpse of the alternate universe once again, where Henry's actually using a sword in his underwear, being up front, but that's just not the reality that we're living in right now.
Okay, so we're done with that. Yeah, so next up, we gotta meet up with the lords, and they're gonna have a task for us. Some combat music still playing, it's a little weird. But it's gonna go away soon enough.
Is it though?
It is. Okay, so something's wrong at Merhead, and there's a captive there, like a bandit, and he's gonna know a bit more. Like, there's more to this than that bandit camp that we just dealt with, and that's our lead right now. Like, we need to interrogate that captive, but there's like a plague at Merhead, and we're gonna need to help them out before we can interrogate the captive.
Yeah, let's see how we can very quickly help out a small town just suffering from a plague. It's very unfortunate, really. Very unfortunate. But Henry is a compassionate man.
Yeah, naturally.
Alright, we are
Okay, so
to go say some nice words to these people in this house.
it so happens that this person has the key so that I can get to where the captive is. So I'm gonna need to do that. It's a little bit unfortunate that I got caught here.
Uh-oh.
This is scary. Surrender! Surrender!
Uh-oh.
Oh no, that's really unlucky.
Oh, wow.
That's all I can say. That's the woman was in a different position than. Oh yeah, I have the. Hold on. I didn't realize I have the autosave here. I can make this work. Yeah. So normally you're not supposed to get caught at all, but the woman there that had the key was in a really unfortunate position. So it was very hard to do it without anyone seeing. So yeah, well, we got caught a little bit, but we interrogated the captive. In other words, he had a note that's gonna tell us everything we need. I couldn't really keep up with what was happening in real time.
Yeah, I'd say that it was a bit of a bait, of course, for me to say that we're going to be compassionate about the way that we're going to deal with the plague. Unfortunately, the town received no medicine, but you should, however, normally do in all normal circumstances during a casual run of this game where you're not in a hurry to finish off a speedrun. So please help the people of Merhead in your own runs.
So anyway, we have the note, and we're gonna wait for Radzik to arrive to this little camp here. But he's not here. We're gonna have to keep waiting then. Where is Radzik? Please arrive.
What's going on?
Radzik, you're being expected at the camp near Murrayhead. Please.
Hello?
This has happened before, but it's quite unusual. Normally he should just be here at midnight, but I've had a scenario where he isn't one time before, and here's another time, I guess. There he is.
Yeah, so sometimes might happen is that when NPCs have to move from one place to another, the game sort of kind of simulates what they do on the way. So sometimes we're not exactly sure what happens. They might get in a fight with some bandits, humans, peasants, who knows what, when they're traveling, and it might really take a long time for them to get through that. Perhaps a fight. Perhaps they were just dumb and fell off their horse. Who knows?
But anyway, here we sleep in someone else's bed because we don't have our own bed here. And we really needed some rest. But no one noticed until it was morning. So yeah, our energy was still low. And our health was also a little low because we got caught there and they started beating us up. But we're pretty much good now. Next up, we're gonna have to find out more about these like bandits and criminals who are behind everything. And yeah, we have some leads where we could go and ask around and find out what's going on. But we also know like a big boss guy that's in charge of a lot and knows a lot. We happen to know that he's here, so we just go straight here.
Yeah, this quest is actually a really, really long set of things. You go fight a mysterious German knight, you play some dice game with them, you go on a horse race, you have to duel them, you have to win them in a duel, and everything, and collect some information, all kinds of stuff. Oh,
That's a little scary.
But yeah, well, we skip it. We just assault. The counterfeiters is actually what we're after right now. There's some people making their own money.
So yeah, my movement was a little bit sloppy there. I got a little stuck behind my horse. It's a little tricky to move through that camp and get out of your horse smoothly. Anyway, so we rushed to Jacek, and yeah, we are very convincing. We're just gonna tell him, you have nowhere to go. And he's just gonna come with us. We arrest him. That easy. So we drank the Bard potion, which increased our speech by 5. We also took a perk, Highborn, which increases our speech by 2 when talking to, well, Highborns.
Yeah, so we were able to say some really, really convincing words to that one guy, surrounded by his allies, while we were in our underwear, with bloody faces and everything, with bandits rushing after us, with swords in hand and everything. But, you know, the pen is truly mightier than the sword, and he just saw no other way out of that situation except for to just be arrested. I mean, it's simple.
Okay, so right now we need to go to Crete. We could just fast travel there, but instead we're going to grab another fast travel point, which is close to where we are right now, before we go to Crete. It's gonna be here, it's Veronica. We're going to come back here a little later. And now we proceed to go to Crete. We need to talk to Radzik after all these events, arresting Jacek, and then, good, avoid the ambush. So he's gonna tell us that we should interrogate Jacek, and we're gonna do just that. So we're gonna need keys to his cell, Jacek's cell, to get to him, which Captain Bernard has them, but He's a little like ways off, so we'd rather talk to Jacek some other way. And this is where the money comes in handy. Turns out that money can get you places.
Yeah, we're going to get a bit of a glimpse into the jailing system of Rate here. It's a bit unusual, I would say. It's not something that you would expect, but it's just the way things work again.
Yeah, so we're gonna really scare Jacek by shooting through this door, and that's gonna cause him to just get out of the cell. And at this point, I'm gonna wait for him to calm down and come sit back at the cell, and then I can talk to him. And that's why we needed 1k money to pay the fine for this little crime.
There we are, and that's how the jailing system works in Rate.
Yeah, they leave the door open, by the way. They
Yeah,
don't need to close it.
yeah. I mean, the door is locked, but only if you're trying to get in to the jail cells. So
Yeah,
there's no
it's they kind of flipped it from the usual.
maybe. Oh, Rancic.
Yeah, he very conveniently appeared right next to me. Okay, so we need to go to Salsao now. We know that there are some crimps there who have some connections, and we need to like blend in, like get to the inside. Before we do so, we're gonna stop by this bathhouse and get some more useful potions. We're gonna need them. Okay, 1 armor, 1 aqua, box blood, lasers, that's good. The armor potion, we need to convince one other guy for the speedrun, and then the other potions are basically to buff us up for some combat.
Yeah, the very last bit of combat, we actually buff ourselves up. Finally. But yeah,
Okay, we're likely to get an encounter here, but I did not. Very good.
Nice. So we got some bad luck, but I guess we're getting our share of good luck as well. So these crimps, anyway, that we're gonna go try to find in Sasao are recruiting men for a new bandit camp. And that's why it's important for the story for us to get in. And there are a few ways of getting in contact with the crimps. They don't contact just anybody, but here is the fastest way of getting in contact with these crimps.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, so here's fist fights. We're gonna prove our might by beating these guys in fist fights. And well, we're really bad at fist fights, but we need to beat them anyway. So this is where the polearm comes into play that we picked up at the start of the game. So we just leave the polearm here. We got a secret tool. That'll make this a lot easier, to put it that way. Let me drink the Lazarus potion. That's gonna heal me a lot over a long amount of time. Even though we have the polearm, this isn't going to be like completely safe and easy. They deal some serious damage because we really don't have any stats. Like Henry's combat skills suck at this point.
Yeah, basically. And the last guy that we have to fight in this fight club here has like 17 out of 20 strength stats, so he's about as bad of a boxer as it gets, you know, in medieval Bohemia.
Yeah, and we have like 4, maybe.
Probably.
Damn, a thief! He's
Also,
standing here!
yeah, so they don't like it when we steal this polearm that we brought with us.
Everybody just kind of knows that it's a stolen polearm, and they kind of freak out.
So every
And
time we
keep
pick it
picking
up, they like see us doing a crime. That's gonna give us a bounty, but it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, like one might expect that, using a pole arm in a fist fight is a crime or is unfair or whatever, but no, it's picking up the pole arm that is stealing that they're concerned about. Which is a mystery how they
Very
know
good
that
fights.
it's stolen anyway, but, whatever. Yeah, no trouble.
Okay, we paid the fine for all the stealing, and then we talked to this guy like, hey, I just beat you all, so like, let me know about the crimes. And they tell us that we need to go to the church at night and pray, and then these bandits are gonna like come and recruit us. But they're actually gonna give us a bit of a like quest that we need to do before they accept us into their ranks. So yeah, we're gonna have to break into the monastery, and we need to kill this guy called Pius in there. So there are like four apprentices there, and Pius is one of them. So we have to find out who it is. So we need to like go undercover and be like a bit of a detective and find out who Pius is, because he's trying to hide. But an alternative is that we just kill one of them, and then we're like, hey, that's good enough. Like that, maybe that was Pius, maybe it was not. But I did it anyway. That's gonna let us progress in the game. So anyway, we need to break into the monastery. So here's the secret entrance. So yeah, we put our horse into this little tight gap here, and a horse elevator.
Yeah, it's pretty typical in Bohemia, 1400s, when there were no elevators, to stuff a horse in a tight corner and it levitates up.
Yeah.
It's normal. It's realistic. It's not just a game. I'm sure.
So anyway, the prior is here. He has the monastery key. It's pretty much... It's really hard to get into the monastery. But this is one of the ways. You get the key off of the prior, and then you can just walk right in.
There would be the fastest way that if you see a random villager and you somehow get them to freak out and run at this door, any random villager, when they're scared enough, they can open that door, no problem.
Yeah, but it's a little hard to control them like that.
Yeah, basically, we have not found any consistent way of getting that to happen, but it has happened.
So the apprentices are the like white robe guys. We need to kill one of them. I missed.
Uh-oh.
Okay, good. Got him. And now we need to escape really fast. Woo. Go downstairs. Okay, I don't think they saw us.
Oh, that's
really good. Really good if they don't see us. Okay. Our task is done. We killed Pius, or somebody at least.
Normally, that quest is incredibly long, as you have to really live with the rules of the monastery. You have to wake up for the morning prayers, you have to take part in masses and everything, and you have to learn some Latin scripture and all that sort of stuff. You have to pretend to be a monk apprentice and to find out information and everything. And it's even happened that some people have just given up on playing the game because the quest was just taking way too long. But we just completed in a matter of minutes.
Okay, I should have picked up Scout 2 before this. It'll make it more likely to avoid this encounter, but here we are. Now we need to run away. I tend to be quite forgetful about that, since there have been many route changes and such. It's not exactly muscle memory for me.
Well,
so I take a really like tricky path here to throw off the enemies that are pursuing me.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny for you to say that, you know, there have been a lot of route changes. I don't remember when. It's been you that have been making these route changes, but, you know.
Yeah. I just don't remember all my changes that I've made to the route.
Understandable.
Yeah. There haven't exactly been like a ton of runners or shrouders for this game. It's mostly me. Anyway, we need to get into Vronic now. So we put on our cool shirt and drink an armor potion. And we can be quite convincing. So this is why it didn't really matter who we kill. Because as long as you kill somebody, Vronic appears, basically. And then you can get in.
Now we're infiltrating, right?
Yeah, we're infiltrating and we're undercover. But yeah, unfortunately we failed, you know? We failed, so we have to deal with these consequences, which is that we didn't really find out too much. But now we're pretty much done with this section, we just need to get out.
Yeah, Henry's not too good at sneaking around.
Yeah, essentially, no matter what you do, sooner or later, you would get caught and have to run away. So, I would just rather do it sooner. Oh, they were really in my way. That was annoying. Okay, run down the hill. That way no one will be able to chase us. And then we need to get out of combat. And meet up with Spizek, who's the guy we met back in Skalitz who was giving us some trouble. But now he suddenly appeared to save us after we got caught. So that's how we got away. That was excellent. Okay, so we returned back to Rete, and you know, we get to sort of decide Spizek's fate because he was kind of a traitor, but then also he kind of saved us, and we really don't even care what we say. We just want to progress in the game. So anyway, now that we know about Vronic, we're gonna launch an attack. So, but we also lost all our equipment, so they just give us some new gear, and now we're ready to go. We need to go to Talmberg to get some reinforcements, and then we're going to Vronic to a big battle once again.
Yeah, we're really approaching the final act of the game as we're attacking this big bandit camp that we all believe that is the full force of all evil effectively in Bohemia. We're trying to root out all of the bandits all at once. We're trying to bring peace back to the kingdom. But, well, since we skipped the story and I happen to have time right now, I will also tell you in advance that sadly, the attack on the bandit camp is actually just something that the bandits really wanted us to do to clear out this town of Talmberg that we're currently in.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ask for reinforcements, but actually what this is emptying Talmberg for the bandits to take, while we're busy in Vronic. So for that reason, the battle here is actually not that hard. Enemies specifically normally don't target Henry. And for that reason, we're gonna stay in our underwear. So we don't have a good bow to use. We have a bow, but the requirements are actually too big. So we might as well drop that. Skatu. Dustbin and meal. Yeah. No use trying to use a bow that's like too heavy. Like we just can't use it. So we're gonna use a sword instead. Oh, by the way, I should have equipped that while I was in the menu. But since the enemies don't target us, this sword is not gonna be too bad at all. Especially when we let our allies do most of the work. The thing is that once you're out of stamina in this game, you start taking a lot of damage. So if you have multiple people attacking someone, it doesn't really matter what kind of armor he has or how strong the attackers are, he's gonna go down eventually. Because attacks drain stamina, and after that, they're gonna start taking some heavy damage. So we have to wait for our allies to break open this gate. Somehow one of the allies glitched through the door, that sometimes happens. Some wild movement happening here.
Yeah, that's some Dragon Ball Z combat.
So yeah, basically it's safe for us to just go ham and attack these enemies, even though they're like way stronger than us, because they just don't target us.
Yeah, basically there are almost no risk to this fight, except that if you somehow happen to get that reluctant AI to hit you, you might die of one hit.
Yeah, so if you make some strong moves, you can get aggroed, and you can get hit, and you can die in one hit. So you have to be careful, but if you're careful, it's safe.
Yeah, but the biggest risk really in this fight is the game crashing at the very end, which is apparently a skill that is involved in speedrunning this game, is to know when the game is susceptible to crashing and how to avoid it.
Yeah, it's really quite unfortunate. This is like this game is by Warhorse Studios, it's their first game, so especially the release version, it is incredibly glitchy, and even the current version, which has been patched a lot, it's still glitchy and it still has crashes.
Yeah, but I would absolutely recommend this game for anybody just interested in this genre of game anyway, just in general. I mean, played casually, you will encounter way fewer glitches than when you're trying to go as fast as possible. Just, well, sometimes the game just doesn't quite like the things that you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now Deno is looting some food, which is going to be very important for a later part where we're actually faced with 2 times waiting for 48 hours for some things to happen, such as building a trebuchet and, well, shooting rocks at a castle during a siege. So it is important for us to have some food in our inventory so that we can just quickly grab a bite from our inventory without wasting any time and just maximizing just waiting and minimizing the loss of time.
I need to find a good target here.
Yeah, there's no target. That's right.
So I managed to pick up this polearm Bohemian ear spoon. That's like the best weapon in the game. Definitely want to pick it up if you get the opportunity. Okay, now I want to be a little careful because this is where the game can crash. So I want to like stand back a little bit and let my allies take care of the final enemy. And that generally seems to help avoid the potential crash.
Nice. We avoided it. No crashes. Yeah, now we are slowly realizing that, wait, all of the bandit leaders that we expected to find here are not here. So we go look at the, the big guy's tent here, and we find a letter that also Henry is not smart enough to read, so we have to give the letter to somebody else to read and to find out what's going on. And, well, it just says that, we baited you guys.
Bamboozled.
Is that the word? Is that the word that they use in Bohemia?
Yeah, absolutely. So there was also the chest that had our equipment that they took from us when we got caught in Vronic. So we took back the most important stuff, like our trusted bow, some arrows, some potions, some food. So yeah, we're trying to take back Thalberg immediately. We're opening the gate so that our allies can get through. And that's the end of this quest. It's approximately 14 seconds of gameplay for this quest.
Yeah. But the kind of taking back the Talmberg stops as you would normally watch the cutscenes. It shows that our traitor man, Sir Istvan Toth, has actually taken Sir Radzik as well as Lady Stephanie as a hostage. So we are forced to just retreat from taking back Talmberg back, and we're going back to the drawing board. And the first idea that we get is, of course, to launch a bit of a sneak mission, a night raid, as they call it, to get back Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzik without, raising any alarm and, taking the advantage away from the people that are, currently sort of kind of residing in our castle.
Yeah, so we have to wait for our allies to set up the ladders, and then they're gonna go first, take out the sentries, and after that we get to follow. So in the meantime, we're just gonna jump against some rocks to get some major vitality experience.
Yeah, but this is also a sneak mission, and Henry is really good at sneaking, as we saw before in Vronic. I think we're going to... Yeah, we'll just see what kind of strategy Henry utilizes this time in his sneaking endeavors.
What are they waiting for?
So at this point, they can't really see us anyway. So like, these guys are like trying to be stealthy and all, but they don't really have to. I can just run and jump around, doesn't matter. Okay, one more guy has to go up, then it's our turn.
Alright, Metal Gear Solid. Sam Fisher. James Bond. Who else is
Yeah.
gonna
So
sneak in?
we're gonna sneak right past the enemies, rescue Radzik and Stephanie. Well, it's gonna be great. This is how we do it. Oh, crap! I think we got caught.
You failed again?
Yeah. Cancel the sneak mission. Okay, we go back and try something else.
Oh, that's too bad. I was sure that punching that guy in the back was going to work this time.
Yeah, it's like a good distracting maneuver, but just mess it up. I don't know. So anyway, so we need to build the trebuchet now. And Frober is going to tell us, like, hey, this Fafar who's in charge of it, he might need some help. And where is Fafar? Here. We're going to offer Fafar help. And we need to go back to Sasa. There's particular guy, Conrad Kaiser, I believe, and he would be able to build a trebuchet for us.
Yeah, but for anybody wondering about the sneak mission, don't worry. Even if you try to do it as well as you can, you actually cannot succeed in saving the hostages. You just go through a lot of trouble for nothing, effectively trying to sneak around. So
we'd rather just fail it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So anyway, Conrad has some ties here, and he can't leave that easily. So we're gonna have to help him out, make some arrangements. Okay, first we need to get in, so we're gonna talk to this guy. Alright, gotta tell us our business, and he's gonna let us in. And he is Here's Conrad Kaiser. Okay, we're gonna ask him why can't he leave.
Word. Some might say I was.
Yeah.
Okay. So we promised to help him out.
I went to bed.
Yeah. So we made the arrangements for him. Well, we helped him out. He can come now. He can come with us now. That was very. Henry is very effective in convincing people.
Yeah, also, as for Henry's behavior...
Isn't there here? Are you kidding me?
Oh, this is very unlikely to happen.
I've like never seen this particular... I'm dead. That's gonna take us back. So yeah, this is the kind of bad RNG that you can get in this game. It's very unfortunate. That's super unlucky though. Like, I've never seen a snare there. I'm very confused. But it happened. Apparently it can happen. We try again.
Well, we're going to see, just a textbook example of Henry's persuasion methods, the ways that he is convincing people to just get out of all of their trouble all at once. So we're just going to get a quick replay of it.
Oh, the guards better not give me trouble.
Yet another PSA, of course, as choking people unconscious does not actually give people money in real life. Punching is not a recommended way of convincing anybody to do anything. So we do not, accept any kind of behavior like this in real life. But it's just Underwear Henry, kind of a psychopath in medieval Bohemia. So please be mindful of that as we make progress in the game.
I don't have any more save to save. So, you need to have this item called Savior Schnapp, like a drink, an alcoholic drink, to be able to save in this game. Or you can also save at beds when you sleep, if you are allowed to sleep in that bed. So unfortunately, we cannot make all the safety saves we would maybe want to, especially for like a marathon setting. And we also sold a bunch of them to get money for the horse, so that's just how it is. Anyway, so we got Conrad Kaiser here, and we're gonna start building the trebuchet. Well,
Yep.
more specifically... Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, I need to talk to this guy. You need to talk to that guy, otherwise they don't start building the trebuchet. Interesting enough. So now 48 hours and the trebuchet is going to be done. So we just wait.
Yeah, sorry fans of catapults and other siege machinery. Trebuchets are the way to go.
Yeah. In this game, in the stream, trebuchet is the superior war machine.
And
So we're
apparently,
gonna...
as it stands, it only takes 48 hours to build. So not too long. If you have a lot of time on your hands, maybe try building a trebuchet.
So we just wait around and then eat some bacon in the meantime to, not get too hungry. Have a nice snack. I do recommend eating bacon, unlike some other things we do in the speedrun.
Oh.
Unless you have some particular health reasons not to eat bacon, of course. And some salami, smoked sausage. Pretty good. Okay, so we're closing in on the 48 hours. Right about here. Our energy dropped a little bit under 50. At that point, we start losing stamina. But it's just barely under 50. We don't really care. So we just wait into that cutscene. If you sleep into that cutscene, there's a high risk of the game crashing. You don't want to do that. Anyway, so we hear that those bandits, they found out about our plans, and they want to destroy our trebuchet. And that would really halt our plans of taking back Talmberg. So we gotta go stop them. So we're setting up an ambush.
Yeah, you might not have noticed, but Henry has actually, gathered quite a bit of a reputation among the lords, and we're kind of a big deal now, as is displayed by our mighty armor and just the glory of Henry, just the way that he looks. I think it's looks anyway. Could be.
Yeah. So there they come. We've set up this ambush. We got this. Our allies are hiding in the bushes. A bunch of them. This is looking great. But let's take a moment to look at Henry here. He's just standing there. He is just standing there, but they don't see us. It's Underwear Henry. He cannot be seen by bandits,
truly.
at least.
Truly a tactical genius. But
Yeah.
then again, if you consider it, you're an armed force with armor, swords, training. There's like 20 of you. You see one man in his underwear standing on the on the bank of this little creek here. Are you going to be concerned about that? I wouldn't be.
Yeah, so we have to wait for some dialogue here. After that, we're initiating combat, and this is it's some very scary combat. But we're gonna try to stay back and shoot these enemies in the faces. Nice, we got one already. So there's gonna be some RNG how well our allies manage to fight here, but it's also gonna be a big deal how well we manage to reduce their ranks, which I'm doing a pretty good job so far.
Yeah, this is yet again, as you can see, there's no crosshair or nothing. You just kind of have to aim in the middle of the screen with Henry's hands kind of swaying and everything, and you need to hit them in the face or you deal almost no damage whatsoever. So it is very tricky, and even this level of accuracy takes, well, probably, the hundreds of hours of practicing these speedruns.
Okay, and it's really important that we don't really get hit here, because we might die instantly. But anyway, that was a good fight. That went pretty quickly. But on to the second phase. We need to cross this bridge and help the other guys. Stuck on those allies a little bit. We're gonna use the sword here. It's too chaotic to try to shoot anyone in the face. And again, I have to be really careful. If somebody catches me from behind or something, we're just dead. So we're gonna position ourselves carefully, but still try to contribute. There. We've really helped them out. Nice. Nice, nice. That was really good.
Nice. Next, we're going on a bit of a jog, I believe.
Yeah. So now that we did the ambush, we gotta go back to the trebuchet before some other bandits coming from other directions are gonna get there. Our allies are a little bit slower than us because they're wearing heavy armor. But Underwear Henry here, he's really fast. So we're gonna just go ahead.
Yeah, and also, as you might see, this takes quite a bit of time, as there is a lot of distance to cover. Luckily, we are at least fast, but horse would be faster, I guess. But horses are really scared of this road and at this specific time. And almost any horse is going to throw you off its back immediately, no matter what you do, basically.
I believe it has to do with there being so many people in this combat, even though they're like not that close to me. But since it's like a scripted sequence, there's basically a lot of people in combat right now, so the horse is really scared. So we're gonna... That's where the trebuchet is, but we know that there are some joggers here, and the joggers happen to be those bandits, our enemies. And we want to shoot the first guy out of this group, and that's gonna aggro the rest of them towards me. Excellent. And then we're gonna run away because we don't want to deal with those guys, but we're gonna aggro them over here, which is going to spawn our allies to fight them much quicker than they normally would.
Yeah,
And at the same time, we're getting closer to our other allies where they also need our help.
Yeah, also joggers, typically not our enemies, but that specific group of joggers just happen to be bandits. Henry just wanted to say them a quick hello, give them a bit of a burst of speed by, motivating them with some arrows. So, everybody go jog. Take care of your health.
Okay, so we help out these guys. We really want to help out this random guard here because he can die. Unlike that... Oh, that was scary. Unlike Sir Hans over there, he's a story character. He's important. He cannot die, so we don't need to worry about him.
So in addition to wearing nice armor, shining armor, and all that, he's also wearing plot armor. The most powerful armor of all.
This is gonna get scary. I'm gonna go to the front gate instead. I would like to be able to use a potion because I lost some health.
Yeah,
I needed to get out of... I needed to get out of active combat to be able to use a potion. So you can see the swords, like under the combat, they are either gray or yellow. So if they're gray, you can use potions and stuff.
Yeah, and again, these guys can really kill you in 1 or 2 hits, or they just lock you in a combo and they will kill you. And that's when you are taken back to the beginning of the jogging phase of this quest. So that's a good 3 minutes of time loss, I would assume. So that's why we need to be really extra careful at this point of the game.
Yeah, basically we just want to assist our allies the best we can. Okay, I think we're getting some reinforcements soon. There we go. They took some time. It took a little bit longer than I wanted them to. There we go. Okay. Where's the fighting? This fight is really weird, like you never know what happens.
Alright,
Depends.
At least we didn't get to see the burning house again. And Hamish fighting.
It depends so much on our allies, like how they manage against these. You don't really have a whole lot of control over this, unfortunately.
Yeah, sometimes this fight ends almost as soon as you fight those 2 guys with like Hans and that one random guard, and sometimes, well, this.
Yeah, but that was okay, all things considered. It wasn't the best, but we'll take it. So anyway, we captured this like leader guy. He was at Vronic and he was beating us up earlier. So we get to interrogate him, but we just say like we don't want to waste time on you because we don't want to waste time on the speedrun.
Very true. But yeah, he's Eric, which might not be important, but he's the general of the bandit army, effectively, and the right-hand man of the man behind all of this, taking over this castle and everything. So it is very, very important that we, of course, captured this guy. But yeah, regardless, we don't talk to him. We don't talk to anybody if we don't have to.
Okay, so we get to do like a test launch of the trebuchet basically, or first launch or whatever. And now it's time for 48 hours of bombardment, and but yeah, more waiting.
Yeah, and after the 48 hours, of course, we are going to be leading the charge of taking back the castle, of just like straight up charging at them with like ladders, climbing up walls. It's going to be the final fight of the speedrun.
Yeah, we're nearing the end of the run. Most likely going to be well underestimate, but of course you never know what's going to happen in this game.
Yeah, it's the final fight is a bit tricky. Den has definitely tried all kinds of things to make it as consistent as possible, and it's come a long way from the very, the early stages and forms of our strats for the final fight. But regardless, it is still tricky. It's a whole bunch of RNG, effectively. But yeah, I mean, enjoy the clock, enjoy the waiting, take a breath.
Okay, I think it should be
relax.
just about ready now.
Yeah, we're about
Is
to
it ready? Yeah, it is ready. Good. Okay, we're gonna tell Captain... Wait, this is Robarb? Yeah, that's Robarb. We're gonna tell him that we're ready, and we're just gonna launch the siege. The final fight, here it goes. If you have any, like, bless RNG type emotes, bless emotes, something like that, put them in chat, we're gonna need that.
Yeah, we're gonna need all the blessings we can get. Bless, of course, Den's aim to begin with. Bless the RNG.
Get the blood rush, get the sure thing, and I'm gonna want brute. That's good. Some final level ups there. Okay, so once again, we're still gonna use a lot of bow because that's just very strong if you hit them in the faces. So before we climb up there, we're gonna drink all our good potions here. That's really gonna buff us up, make us take almost no damage, especially when we have all this armor. So we're much stronger than we were before. Like at the start of the run, for example. Okay, there goes one guy. And another. And I'm out of arrows.
Nice. Very nice start.
How did that guy even shoot me? That was weird. Okay. So I'm gonna leave the rest of those guys to my allies. I'm gonna go ahead and deal with the next guys that are coming up here. Got a little bit stuck there, that's okay. And I'm betting a lot of guys here. Like, you might think this is looking really bad. How am I gonna deal with like 10 bandits? But there's a way. There's a way. We get into this corner, and it's so cramped and tight in here that they're just unable to hit us. But using the bow, we can just launch arrows on their faces from this position. In fact, they're actually hitting each other because they just can't reach me.
Oh my god. This is the best ending to a speedrun I've seen.
Oh no, is it?
I can't really see much.
A little chaotic. I think we're inside that man's face right now.
Okay. Okay, I got them down pretty well.
Also, if there's
Nice,
any
nice.
medieval combat experts in chat, is this a normal way of doing medieval sieges? Because I don't know. I would just
I mean,
like to
Warhorse
confirm.
Studios, they did their research. They like really put effort into being historically accurate and realistic, so I trust them.
We can only assume that, yeah.
Oh, that went really well. Wow, that was excellent. Okay, so now we proceed into the last phase of the fight, the courtyard. And this is... all our allies might be dead, or all our enemies might be dead. Well, you never know until you get there. So we're just gonna have to deal with... what do we get? This is where we get out the sword, because it's too chaotic to shoot anyone.
Alright.
This is looking
job.
good.
Yeah, taking out 2 guys immediately.
Okay, this guy's gonna need my help. Okay, let's get this guys. Good. We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay, I can barely get to any enemies. There we go. That was a good fight. That was an
Wow.
excellent fight.
Thank you for all the blessings in chat. They really helped us this time. That's nice. We have taken back the
Okay.
castle, saved all the hostages. Now what is left to just ride into the sunset with our best bro, previous enemy, kind of a dickhead, Hans Capon.
Yeah, so we're gonna go meet Sir Radzik. We made a deal with those bandits there at the end. Like, they're gonna release Radzik there. We're gonna go meet him, and once we hit the cutscene trigger, that's where the run ends. Is anyone like able to use the timer, or am I gonna have to do it?
I should be able to do it. Just give me like a countdown when you're about to.
Okay, I'll try to time the countdown well. Okay, like 10 more seconds, maybe. No, less than that. 3, 2, 1, time.
Hey.
There we go.
Oddly enough, I lost it.
Got some laggy cutscenes and credit. Okay,
Nice.
so
That was a good run.
that's an excellent time. I